And then to class, I realized I didn't record it. In the week of love, thinking about all this commercialism that's going on, trying to get us to buy roses and chocolates and heart shirts and heart jewelry and what else are they trying to get us to buy? Somebody said, "Dear husband, your wife doesn't want chocolate, she wants crab legs." So we're trying to get people to buy crab legs. But we're inundated with buy people something to make sure they know that you love them. And, we don't have to buy stuff to show love, right? Love is a verb, and love is what we do. It can be as simple as letting somebody know that you're thinking about them. Send a text, send a card in the mail. Um, just think of somebody. Your neighbor's sick. Take them. Oh, we got Irene coming again. See if you can have some soup to take them. Just an act of kindness is an act of love. And so I like to remind myself of that because I'm so inundated with that message of bye, 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 right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Miss Iris. All right, I think we got everybody. But I guess I like crab legs too. It wouldn't hurt my feelings if somebody gave me crab legs, I guess. It would hurt my feelings if somebody gave me crabs. I'll behave. Okay. I'll pretend I'm a grown up for the next hour, okay, y'all? I'll just pretend. Okay.
Okay.
I'm seeing if I'm amongst grown-ups. I'm just making sure. All right. Let's get in our stable stance. Good posture, relaxed shoulders, no tension. Oh, we're breathing. Inhaling fully, emptying those lungs with air, calming our nervous system. So we're going to positively affect our nervous system, our vascular system, our muscular system, all in exercise. Here we go, starting with our neck. Bring our hands up, turn, pull them towards us, push, and follow those hands all the way down, chin to chest. Remember, slow, smooth, and continuous. Even in our warm-ups, we're practicing our principles. Other neck exercise. One hand drops to our hip, the other we follow as we look towards that shoulder, back to the front. So we're only moving our head in this warm-up movement. Our complete body is staying forward, shoulders, hips. Simply warming up our neck with this movement. Pull our shoulders forward. So all of our warm-up movements are to specifically prepare us for our Tai Chi moves. But if we just were to do our warm-ups and keeping our principles in mind, then we would get benefits from them as if we were doing our Tai Chi, because the principles guide the movements, and the movements is what gives us those benefits, especially when we get, in terms of fall prevention anyway, when we get to those lower body moves and we transfer weight. All right, this one's for our shoulders. Our spine, let's grab our ball here and separate and push up and down at the same time, keeping that soft bend in our elbows. Come back to our ball and separate. Switch those hands. Slow, smooth, and continuous. Back to our ball, and let's go side to side. Remember how similar this movement is to our waving hands in clouds movement. So before, when we were warming up our neck, we only moved our neck. And on this one, we're moving our torso. So our hips and our knees are staying facing forward. It's only the top of our body that's going side to side. Even though it may look like I'm turning my head, I'm not. I'm just going, my head is just attached to my body. It's going along for the ride. All right, let me let Mr. Daniel in and mark him. Oh. Going to our lower body. This is where it gets serious because we shift weight to one leg. Not that it's not all serious, but this is more challenging because we are holding weight on one leg. As we move the other leg and move our arms cross lateral, which is challenging in itself, all the while remembering to breathe and to not hold tension anywhere. Let's go to the other side. Shift. Toe back at that angle like a kickstand. Right, now side to side. Keeping good posture, not going beyond our frame, and then tapping. I think about waving hands in clouds again with this move because we shift the weight and then we step. But here we're just tapping out. Y'all know I love waving hands in clouds as a pull-out movement. Now we go to our knees. Loose fist down by our hips. We're going to shift weight again. Lift, tap, and punch out that opposite arm. Bring it back. Shift, lift, tap, and punch. So stay slow. Take your time with the weight shift. On this move specifically, the leg that I'm shifting weight to, I have a little extra bend to it. And let me show you from the side. Well, you might not be able to tell with this side, but you will maybe be able to now. See, I have that extra little bend. So typically I'll have a soft bend, but when I go and shift weight to this leg to lift this one, there's that extra little bit of squat there. What that does is lowers my center of gravity and it helps me with balance. And so that's one option that helps me. Or you may want to hold on to a table, the wall, a chair, because that's very challenging to hold weight while you move that other leg. All right, for our other knee exercise, we shift weight, step out forward, a small step. This is what I want you to remember here is to keep both feet flat on the floor as you shift weight forward and bring the weight back and then feet side by side. So it's important to keep that back foot flat on the floor because if you were to lift that heel up as you transfer weight, you're more likely to lean into the movement. So here you would go more leaning, but if your heel is down and you're grounded in the movement, then you're more likely to remain upright as you transfer that weight. So keep that in mind that both heels stay on the ground, but that back one always has the tendency to pull up.
Jennifer,
Ma'am?
can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you see me come in?
I did.
I had trouble coming in.
Oh no, what happened?
Oh, I don't know.
We just
I
let
don't know.
Miss Lynn.
Those new exercises keep coming up.
You know
and
what?
I couldn't get
Me and Sharita had this conversation on Friday. Anybody who's on a Claris, the Claris people thought it was a great idea to put all these new programs on your tablet. And so it's confusing.
Yeah, it's definitely confusing for me, but finally I got there.
So I'm glad you're here.
Try that.
If you want me to remove any of those, I think that I can. But it may give you the opportunity to try something you've never tried before. And for those of you who don't have a Claris, what we're talking about is programs that are available on AARP Senior Planet. So if you were to Google AARP Senior Planet and go on that site, there are so many free programs that you can participate in.
Okay.
And I mean, you can learn how to use YouTube. You can learn how to speak Spanish. There was one where you brought a craft and you showed up and everybody kind of talked while you each worked on whatever it is you were working on. It's just a community of older adults. Sometimes it's exercise. So it's not all exercise. There's lots of different programs, but it's free. And I think that is so cool but it's Senior Planet. And it's a AARP. You don't have to be an AARP member. You don't even have to be a senior because I took a class on there and I'm not a senior yet. So the Claris people put some of those classes on the tablets, and it just confused us last week what was going on. All right, back to our knees. So again, we are keeping that foot grounded. If what I was saying is, if you lack some flexibility, you really you can't help but pull that heel off the floor. Then put your feet a little closer together. Like, don't step as far back or step as far forward, I guess, in
All
this
right.
instance.
Take
And
care.
keep
Getting
weight
ready
on
for the
that
night.
keep
It's
weight on
them.
that back foot. What
So
we
you think
saying
we're gonna be
here?
done by dinner time, which is about 4:30?
I think someone is talking on the phone or something.
Yeah, sometimes, oh, that's okay. Sometimes I can figure out who's talking because a little microphone will pull up, but I couldn't figure it out that time. No problems, don't worry about it. I just want to make sure nobody has a question. But take a smaller step forward and then still keep weight on this back foot. Shift a little weight to that front foot, then shift it back. So most importantly, our feet are both grounded. They're both on the floor for the weight shift. So it's not, you're not shifting 100% of the weight forward anyway. Our goal is to just warm up our knees. So we can do that shifting forward. We don't want to bend that front knee really far. We don't want it to go beyond our toe because then that puts unnecessary pressure on that knee. So we punch the opposite, bring it back side by side, but both feet flat on the floor. Excuse me. And we want to thank good posture. My tendency is to want to lean in with the weight shift, but remain upright and shift forward and keep that upright posture even through the weight shift. And so that's a challenge. But keep that in mind. You don't want to lean in with weight shift. Not just in our warm-up movements, but when we get into our advanced movements where we shift forward. All right, ankles. Shift to one leg and heel, toe, heel, toe. Rocking that foot, working on the mobility of our ankle joint. Bring back, shift, and heel, toe. In these moments, we just do a quick body scan and make sure we're not holding tension anywhere. Check and make sure we're not holding our breath. Shift weight, and now big toe, little toe. So side to side. Very good. Shift, little toe, big toe. And I want you to notice your fist where you're holding your hands. Are you clenching your hands? Are you grabbing that other hand? Sometimes we create tension for no reason, and it's not until we really check ourselves that we notice it. And if I were to continue to just grab that hand like I was, then that can cause me to have some pain there. So anytime we check and find tension and let it go is always a good thing. We don't want to hold on to tension. All right, a few deep breaths and then we'll get into our basic 6. So remember, if y'all have any questions, always let me know. You don't have to wait for me to ask. If you have one, if you need clarification, just call out and we'll address it. Doing a review and a repeat is always good. All
Miss
right,
Jennifer?
ma'am.
Yes, my Clarence tablet acting up. So I'm on my phone. That's why I was late getting on, but I'm on.
That's okay. I'm glad you're here. Miss Linda,
Yes, ma'am.
her Clarice was acting up too. We're gonna have to get with those Clarice people, aren't we?
I think so.
Did they put a bunch of new programs on your tablet, Miss Barbara?
Yes, ma'am. They put some new stuff on.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about, how they kind of confused us with all that stuff. We're looking for our 1:30 class, and there's a 1 o'clock class, and it's been, anyway.
It comes on and go off.
Oh gosh, Miss Linda's had hers doing that one time before too, where it just, for whatever reason, shuts off. Or she can hear me, but she can't see me.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, technology. All right, basic six. So we have learned our basic six. We're not masters of it, and that's okay. Dr. Lamb tells us that we'll be a little awkward and feel not so 100% about it for our whole first class. So be patient with yourself as you learn to move in these new ways. Let's go through it. I'm going to talk you through all of the six. So starting with commencement. We're coming here with a stable stance, weight on both feet. Remember, we're going to go to the right first, come back to the middle, and then go to the left. All right. And commence. We bring our hands up, all facing each other, down, shift to our right leg. Place that left foot out there. Our hands come in and up. Shift left as those hands go out, right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. Single whip. Shift left, step out right, adjust weight. Push, turn, separate. Eyes follow our left hand. Shift left, right foot, right hand come back. Waving hands and clouds. Step. Switch. Here's our sheet back behind me. Turn. Our four moves. Shift. Step. Switch. Turn. Shift. Step. Switch. Turn. Shift. Step. Switch. Turn. Shift. Step. Switch. Turn. Shift, step, switch, turn, and to the middle for open and close. Single whip. Shift right, step left, adjust weight. Push, turn, separate. Eyes follow our right hand. Shift right, bring that left foot, left hand back, waving hands and clouds. Step. Switch, turn, shift, step, 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 switch, turn, and come back to center for open and close. Waving hands and clouds is a dynamic, more difficult move. We got a lot going on. That's why I have our cheat sheet with our 4 moves. So I was thinking about the hands, how the wording is step. Well, that's not too difficult. We're walking Tai Chi, walking sideways. We place that foot out there without giving it immediate weight. Then we give it weight. Then we follow step. Don't immediately give it weight. Then we give it weight. So that's the Tai Chi walking. We can practice Tai Chi walking going forward too, And as we are practicing weight transfer, where we place our foot forward, empty, not immediately weight, then give it weight, step, then give it weight. And this is Tai Chi walking. It's practicing weight transfer. It's practicing the pause because we empty step. So, give yourself some, 5 or 10 minutes and practice Tai Chi walking forward or Tai Chi walking left to right. But it's an empty step, no immediate weight. Then we give it weight. An empty step, no weight. Then we give it weight. And you can see my body go from over top of this leg, step, over top of this leg. So my body goes where the weight is. Shift. So I'm staying upright, but my body is going over top of the leg that has the weight. Shift. When it comes to the hands, the word is shift. I meant switch. Sorry. So what are we switching from and to? Well, we have one hand by our hip. So it's engaged. It's not just, flailing around down here. Our palm is down. The other hand is cross body. The palm is kind of out. For as much as you can, it depends on the mobility of your wrist, right? So, but it's cross body, just like this. So when we switch, we go from we turn. This hand comes down to the hip like you're slapping a drum, and this hand comes up cross body. So when we turn, the hand that was by your hip ends up in front of you, like kind of by your belly button. The hand that starts off cross body, like a sash, ends up over here by your shoulder, right? So it comes straight down. So think about what our hands are doing here. Switch. 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 So that's what's happening. We have to turn before we switch. Turn, switch. So we're making it very robotic right now. The turn and the switch. Turn, switch. The bottom part of my legs are staying still. Only the top part of my body's moving, just like in that spinal warm up. But we're here, switch. All right, I want us to think robotic at first. The switch and the turn. The switch and the turn. Switch, turn, switch, turn. All right, you got the rhythm of that movement. You're feeling your body move side to side. Now I want us to start trying to chisel off those corners and not make it so robotic to where it starts being more smooth. It's like an oval as we do waving hands in clouds. So that the switch, they're just gliding past each other before we turn. Gliding past each other before we come back across. So that gliding is more smooth. Hopefully you're feeling it loosen up a little bit. So let's practice that step and switch. Hold on. We go from single whip. Going to the right. Single whip. Waving hands and clouds. So starting with our right foot, step and switch. Turn. Now suddenly we feel like we have too many legs and arms, don't we? When we start putting it together. But just remember our 4 words. We're turning, shift, step and switch, turn, shift. Step and switch, turn, shift. We're not worrying about numbers. We're worrying about if we run into the wall or not. But we can go to the other side or step to the other direction. I just want you to get familiar and comfortable with waving hands and clouds. With those 4 words, combining step and switch, turning, and then shifting. Come back to center. Open and close. All right, let's do it from the top, from commencement all the way through. And commence. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands and clouds. Slow, smooth, and continuous. Remembering to breathe. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands and clouds. Open, close, and close it out. Are y'all feeling better and better about these basic 6?
I'm not, because I got all messed up. We're trying to join me. My mind's just not working right.
That's okay. This time of the day is typically nap time for us. It's when our bodies kind of start getting a little bit sleepy anyway. But I'm telling you, that move, when you start putting those legs and hands together, you start feeling like there's just too many things going on. And so I'm going to turn around. We go to the right first, coming from our single whip. We're going to go to single whip. So we shift left, step right, adjust weight, push, turn, separate. So now waving hands and clouds. We shift left, we bring this right foot, right hand back. So we're ready for this process to start with our 4 words. Let's step, then switch, turn, shift. Step, switch, turn, shift. Step, switch, turn, shift. Step, switch, turn, shift. Step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn, come back to the front for open and close. Was that easier with me turned around?
Yeah.
So you know what it looks like,
Helpful.
huh?
Both ways are good.
Ma'am,
They're good both ways.
you like it both ways?
Yeah,
Well,
it helps.
when we go from the front, you can really see what the hands look like. You know, whenever I turn around, if you didn't already see what it looked like from the front, then you'd be just trying to figure it out. You'd be filling in the blanks. So I like to follow somebody that's going the same direction as me. Our goal is to walk to the right, and that is step, switch, step, shift, step, shift, step. So we got this down. We got this walking to the side. Why that switch and turn feels like so much more, it's just challenging our brain. But if we do one thing at a time, we can do it. So let's step out and fix our hands. So now we're ready to turn. Shift, step, switch, turn. Shift, step, switch, turn. Shift, step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn, and come back to center for open and close. All right, let's single whip and wave hand clouds to the left. So we shift right, step left, adjust weight, push, turn, separate, eyes follow our right hand. Shift right, bring that left foot, left hand back, waving hands and clouds. Here we go. Step, switch, turn, shift, 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 step, switch, turn. Back to center for open and close. Another tip is when you step right, okay, so I'm going to step right, I turn right. I step left, I turn left. So that's the rhythm of the movement. Step right, turn right. Step left, turn left. Step right, turn right. Step left, turn left. Open, close. Let's go to the left. Single whip. Shift, step, push, turn, separate. Eyes follow that right hand. Shift right. Left foot, left hand back. Here we go. We step left. We turn left. We step right. We turn right. Step left. Turn left. step right, turn right, step left, turn left, step right, turn right, open, close. So maybe the rhythm and the pattern of that step left, step right, turn right can help keep track. When you think about step and turn, you know, here we were at step right, turn right. There's just these two things in the middle. So before we turn, we have to switch our hands. Before we step, we have to shift. But we can think step right, turn right. Another helpful tip is the hand that's on top. So this is my hand that's on top. The hand by my hip will be considered bottom. That tells me the direction I'm going. So I'm here. I'm going to my left. Hand on top, I'm going to my right. Hand on top, I'm going in that direction. And there's that energy thing where we talked about this. When this hand's on top, we know I'm going that way, the direction of the hand that's on top. But if I go the wrong way, then I'm closing myself off to you. And that's just like a little kid will do you. Turn their shoulders to you and scowl their face. That's not good energy. And then here we're opening ourselves up, and that's good energy. So hand on top, going in that direction, which opens us up. If we go in the wrong direction, then we're closing ourselves off. And so, of course, that goes against, you know, the energy thing in Tai Chi. So keep that in mind. I'm trying to, throwing all these different tips at you, and what one thing may work and speak to you more than another. So hand on top is the direction I'm going. I step with one foot, then I turn to that direction. So the step is first. The turn comes next. So when I step with one foot, I turn to that direction. Step first, and then the turn comes second. And so that's why that cheat sheet is such a good helper for you. All right, let's do it from the top. And commence. Hands come up, down, shift right. Place that left foot out there, in, up, shift left as those hands go out, right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. Single whip, shift left, step right, adjust weight. Push, turn, separate, eyes follow that left hand. Shift left, bring that right foot, right hand back. Here we go. Our first step is right. Switch and turn right. Shift, step left, switch, turn left. Shift, step right, switch, turn right. Shift, step left, switch, turn left. Shift, step right, turn right. Step left, turn left. And back to center, open and close. Single whip, shift right, step left, adjust weight. Push, turn, separate, eyes follow our right hand. Shift right, bring that left foot, left hand back, waving hands in clouds. Step, switch, turn. shift, step right, switch, turn right, shift, step left, switch, turn left, shift, step right, switch, turn right, shift, step left, switch, turn left, shift, step right. This isn't confusing at all. Tons of words to our simple. But I want you to hear step right, turn right, step right, turn right, or step left, turn left, step right, turn right. You know, I want you to know the step comes first, and then the turn goes in that same direction, follows the step. There's just these things that happen in between to get us to those. But practice is just the way to get better at it. So now I'm going to do it facing forward. All right, here we go. So remember, we go to the right first and then to the left, but we start with commencement. And commence. Hands come up, down, shift right. Place the left foot out, hands come in and up. Shift left as they go out. Right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. Single whip, shift left, step right, adjust weight. Push, turn, separate, eyes follow our left hand. Shift left, bring that right foot, right hand back. Here we go, here's the fun. Step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn. I think we're on 6. Let's do one more just in case. Step, switch, turn, shift. So we step left, then we turn left and come to the middle for open and close. Single whip, shift left. Shift right. Step left, adjust weight. Push, turn, separate. Eyes follow our right hand. Shift right. Bring that left foot, left hand back. Waving hands and clouds. Step right. Turn right. Step left. Turn left. Step right. Oh, shoot. I'm saying the wrong thing, aren't I? Step left. Turn left. Step right. I got myself confused from turning backwards and forwards. Turn right. Step left. Good thing we're not an octopus. We don't have lots of legs.
We'd probably get wrapped up in them and fall.
For real.
Oh, it's supposed to be relaxing, in which I have created stress from the waving hands and clouds movement. But we get there by breaking it down. And so breaking it down, it's that many parts. It's 4. Step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn, shift. Whether you're on your right leg or left leg, when you step that foot, you're turning to that direction. All right, let's take a breather from it. When we do our movement, that is our spinal warm-up, okay? Our spinal warm-up is here. We're not doing anything with our legs. So we could sit down and do wave hands and clouds. And so, or do that spinal warm-up, which is the precursor to wave hands and clouds. We're here. We have our ball. The hand that's on top is the direction that we turn. So here, I'm going to turn to that way, right? Since it's the one on top. Turn. Switch. Turn. Switch. So we don't have any leg things to worry about right now. And we're just carrying this ball from side to side, guided by the hand on top telling us what direction we go. So this is our spinal warm-up that gets us ready for waving hands and clouds. We're just carrying the ball side to side. Now, I remember the first time doing this movement, I'd go to switch and I would kind of get lost on the ball. I feel like my ball just kept spinning. But it's a switch, right? So we're here on top. We come across, we carry that ball across, and we switch. Carry that ball across, and we switch. Trying to think if I can do wave hands and clouds with the ball. So here, when we do our warm-up for our hips, and we shift weight, and then we tap out, shift weight, and we tap out. So we're getting ready for waving hands and clouds where we step, shift weight, step, shift weight, step, shift, step, shift, step, shift. So practicing weight shift with our hip warm-up, shift, tap, shift, tap, shift, tap, shift, tap, shift, tap. All right, the hand on top goes in the direction of that turn. The hand on top, that's that direction. Step, then turn. All right. Here, 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 here. Even if we change our hands to just the waving hands and clouds, upper body, no stepping. But realizing it's the same as our spinal warm-up, the torso movement. What is the most important thing? Well, most important thing is the weight transfer. That is what helps us with muscle strength, that helps us with falls prevention, right? And that weight transfer happens as we step, shift, follow step. So if we were to isolate the stepping, then we're practicing weight transfer. And when we practice weight transfer, we get the good of strengthening our muscles. We also practice body structure by keeping that good upright posture as we shift our weight. Even if I hold my hands here, That's most important when it comes to falls prevention. That's just one of the benefits of Tai Chi. Now, when we think about the benefit of Tai Chi that is especially relaxing to us to help with stress, anxiety, and depression, specifically just stress and anxiety, we want to calm ourselves. We can isolate that top part. And if we just carry that ball side to side and think about the circular motion of switching our hands around that ball, and then we go to the side, thinking about the circular motion of going around that ball. At the end of that turn, that circular motion is relaxing as we go side to side. That the smoothness of that transition, side to side, and we're breathing. And so the meditative nature of that movement is relaxing. So we don't have to do it together in practice. We can practice those moves separately and get the benefits. And so then we pick it back up and do our Tai Chi basic 6 moves. But we want to think about, what do we need from the movement? And if what we need is work on a balance, work with our falls, then let's practice weight transfer, practice the stepping. And if you just want a time to relax, just sit in your chair and go side to side. Or sit in your chair and open and close and breathe. Sit in your chair and do this shoulder exercise where we come up and push down. And those are the elements that help calm us. So think about what you need and practice movements that address that, even if you have to break up the movements. Don't let Tai Chi stress you. We will keep practicing it, okay? Any questions before we cool down? This somehow got to 2:31. So be patient with me and be patient with yourself as I learn left and right, and we learn our movements together.
You're doing great, Jennifer.
Oh, good Lord. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let's give ourselves a nice fist massage, massaging those leg muscles. That really works so hard for us in those weight transfers. You know, if you get sore from doing Tai Chi, you know, it's valid because your legs really do work hard as we move slowly. Then our weight is on one leg a lot longer. All right, let's create tension. See, we don't want to live like this. We want to let it go. We want to be chill. We want to be relaxed. But we gather all that tension. We know what it feels like, and then we let it go. That's how we want to be. Gather and release. Gather and release. Shoulder circle. Inhale. Exhale. One more. So we take our right fist, that represents our strength. Our left fingers together is our friendship, thumb in humility. We put those together in mutual respect. We say namaste.
Namaste.
Very good,
Namaste.
y'all. We'll do it again next time, right?
Right. We'll keep trying.
Yeah,
like
we keep
it.
trying. Thanks.
Yep. And we'll have good days with it and better days with it and worse days with it.
Right. As long as we don't give up, we're still in the game.
I like that. I like it. Do
So-
not give up. We'll break it down and practice all the pieces and parts, and we'll keep moving forward with the comfort that Dr. Lamb says you're going to be awkward with these movements. It's normal to feel awkward with these movements. So I'm proud of y'all for continuing to show up. And like I said, we'll do it again next week.
All right.
All right.
Have a good week.
All right. You too. Love y'all.
Bye-bye.
Love you.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.